Ahead, warm up those fingers, grab that pen, get ready to write. Today, we are going to cover a lot in week 12. All right. So, we are going to, let me get to my notes so I can stay on track. We're going to chat about, you guessed it. We are circling back, not to niche today, but we're going to circle back and we're going to talk about storytelling. All right. So I'm going to give you three, I guess, habits that you can start doing so that you are the greatest storyteller in 2026, because ultimately, this has to be our goal. This has to be something that it is a part of our business, especially if we are going to be on social media and we want to bring in new people, keep current people. We have to get really, really good at storytelling. I have built a well over six-figure business, and I started storytelling over 13 years ago, and I just continue to get better and better whenever I possibly can. And it has only increased my impact and my income. So I am a huge, huge advocate for this. We're going to talk about storytelling, and we're also going to talk about a new month, how to set yourself up for success this month, which is so funny because that's what Daphne was touching on. We're going to talk about that exact thing. We're going to talk about referrals. It's a very sticky, icky word in this industry, and I'm going to teach you a way to do it that increases your income like today. I'm going to give you all the tricks that I do as far as utilizing, we'll just call it referrals for now. All right. And then, who's coming in? Hang on. Here she comes. Deb. And then we're going to talk about fear. We're going to talk about fear and having a scarcity mindset. Okay. We're going to talk about how you
Just
can
pull my covers,
reframe,
why don't you?
how you can reframe that to live in a space of abundance. Okay. So we're going to touch on that briefly. It's something that is one of my favorite things to share with my team. And so, of course, I want to pass it all on to you, letting people in. And then I want to hear from you. I'm going to help you with how to use this ambassador sponsoring offer for December. But I do want to hear from you, people, like real life people that you are thinking that are in your hearts right now that you want to invite to join your team. So if you haven't written down their names, put their names in lights on your papers now. Here comes Deneen. And then that's how we're gonna end our call today is helping with what to say, how to say it, and when to say it for people that we really want to introduce the business to. And if you are not looking to recruit, if that is not on your agenda for 2026, then let's just talk about the people that maybe did not pull a trigger with you in December or in November, and some verbiage that we're going to use. Great lenses, Deb. Great optics. Hi, welcome. I get very easily distracted, as you can tell.
And
Okay.
you know what? When you come to New York, I'll take you to this store because it is worth, but I admire your glasses too.
Oh, yeah, I have lots of them. I love glasses. There's my
I
thing.
don't, I don't wear glasses except when I'm with the computer. I'm at that stage of life where I've been fortunate for 2020, but and my eyes, I love my eyes, so I was always afraid to wear sunglasses or glasses. But thank you for saying that. That makes
Yeah, absolutely.
on this really dismal day where I'm multitasking. I'm in my mother's apartment. Thankfully, my dear brother is here because I passed the baton to him because he's navigating my mom, who's going to go down and do her bicycle, 96 years old, and she's our Shackley poster child.
There you go.
So,
Well, happy she has a chaperone while you can be with us. Okay,
yeah, thank
so
you so much for
we're gonna
everybody.
we're gonna touch on storytelling. Was just telling the crew before a few of you guys joined that this is huge. This is really, really important to master this, and the only way to master it is to do it.
Mhm.
Okay. Whether it's journaling on your own, whether it's saying the words of your story out loud in front of a mirror. Literally, my husband hears me talk to myself more than I talk to actual people. Okay. And sometimes I don't even know that he's home. And then I'll get mad at him and say, like, why didn't you tell me you were home? And he said, I didn't want to interrupt you. I said, it was just me. He goes, I know. So here we go. So I want you to do this. If you wanted to become an incredible storyteller in 2026, which I hope and pray that you all do, I would start by ignoring 99% of the advice that's out there. Okay.
Mm.
I really, truly, truly would. I want you just to focus on these three habits. Makes it super easy.
Oh, I love it.
Okay. I want you to imagine two people. They both they both wake up at 7 a.m. and they scroll through their phone and they get dressed and they grab coffee and they head out the door to drop their kids off at school. They have the exact same routine.
Mm.
Okay. But here's the difference. The first person rushes through it all, right? They're checking messages, they're multitasking, they're half listening to the world, they're sipping their coffee without even tasting it, probably spilling it all over themselves, rushing out the door in their bathrobe, taking their kids to school. The second person does the exact same thing, but with very different awareness. All right. So on the way to dropping their kids off at school, they notice that the gal who's helping their kid out, their eyes meet and they smile at each other.
Mm.
That was their first interaction with the outside world that day, other than their kids and their husband. And that made them feel warm, right? Then they're driving home from dropping their kids off at school, and that sip of coffee just hits different when you're alone, right? And the chaos is somewhat behind you. Okay. So, same routine, different awareness. That is what separates good storytellers from incredible storytellers. It's not about living a more interesting life. Okay. I barely ever leave my house, yet my stories are abundant. Okay. It's about living and noticing what you already have. Sometimes we don't notice those small moments and then we miss out on an incredible story. So here's the habit. The habit in bold is notice the small moments.
Mm.
And I shared this with you in, I believe this was our third week to help you do this, to help you get into the habit of this. Every day, at the end of the day, if you're in bed and I have a journal by my bed, and I don't journal, I just write like one line.
Mhm.
I kind of like, I'm thinking about it in my head, but then I just like put it in bold of kind of, because frankly, it takes so long to write. Typing is so much faster. So the journal, I just kind of like, I'll write a sentence. And what I do is I ask myself this question. If I had to tell one story from today, what would it be?
Mhm.
Okay. What was that one moment? It could be a small win. It could be a weird encounter, a kind gesture. What else? A funny conversation. If you have young children, you probably are living in abundance of those. And then just jot that down. Just jot down, maybe if you want to jot down the date and then just write one short sentence that captured that moment. And then when you go to sit down to storytell on social media, you'll remember that and you'll write the feelings behind that moment. Right? Are you with me? Everyone with me?
Mhm.
All right. So, habit number 2. And trust me, once you start noticing those small moments, you'll pick up your phone and pull over and jot it down in the note section. Like you're like, "Oh, that was so good." The principal at my son's school had me roll down the window. He did this, which is funny because what are we like? We don't
Unless you're
have
old enough, you don't get
a
it.
yeah. He had me roll down the window when it was freezing cold. And he just had to tell me how great it was to have Miles at his school because Miles is brand new. Look, I can't even. And I, of course, was all dressed up looking like the abominable snowman in my bathrobe. crying at the head of Miles's Catholic school just to hear him say that he is so thankful that Miles is there. Oh, all right. So habit number 2. When I first got into storytelling, I signed up for this course where you actually had to present your stories in an environment of people that you like didn't know. And what I would do is I would like perfect this perfect story. Like I was like every word, every pause. I was in speech class when I was in college, so I was like, I'm gonna ace this course. Mind you, I wasn't getting a grade. I paid money for this course, right? But I was like, I need to be the winner. I need to be, whatever, what I need, just really smash it out of the park. And so I told a story of being a military spouse, and I'm on and I'm pause, dramatic effect, all the things, right? And the person who was leading it was like, well, Serena, that was great. Like, really, really unimpressed. Like, go back to the drawing board. I felt nothing. I was just being so incredibly vague. I was just speaking in hyperbole. I was being very superfluous, multiple words. I was just throwing all these emotions of being a military spouse onto paper and hoping it would stick. So it's really about honing in on, yes, feelings, but wrapping them all in so the person who's reading knows where you are, can sense the situation, feels like they're there with you, and not like you're delivering it, like a robot. Like being
Mm.
a military spouse is just so challenging. Let me tell you why it's so challenging. Okay. So relive the story is habit number 2.
Mm.
When you're sitting down to story write, relive the story. That's like bringing the person in with you.
Mm.
Okay.
Relive it yourself.
Yes. Yes. Habit number 3. All right. Let's see. If you wanted a 6-pack, not of beer, a 6-pack of abs this year or next year, what would you do?
Mm.
Take your morning workout class because that's what I've got now.
You would probably sign up for Get a Girl Fitness. No, you would sit down, you would make a plan, you would hit the gym, you would sweat, you would develop a nutrition program, and you would stay consistent,
Mhm.
right? You would not fly by the seat of your pants, go to the gym once a month, and eat a salad every other week and hope for the best.
Mm-mm.
That would be delusional. And quite honestly, some people actually still live in that world. But that's what most people do when it comes to storytelling is they do it when it feels good to
Mm.
them. They do it when they have the time and they sit down and think that something's going to come to them at the moment that they have time.
Mm.
But if you did habit number 1, you have a journal or a note section of one-liners to go back and relive those moments. Okay, so habit number 3 is absolutely being consistent. Being consistent. I over share with you to do it every other day. Okay, every other day to tell a story would exponentially help your business.
Mm.
It would help with it would help with reselling people, current clients. It would help with new business. It would help with ambassadors. Storytelling is what brings people in, gets people to trust you so that when you do have something to say, they're like, I feel like I know Daphne. I'm going to listen to what she has to say. So don't skimp on the storytelling, right? All right. Again, it doesn't have to be dramatic. Tiny story. Don't overthink. One small moment. Relive it yourself Be consistent. Okay. Let's touch on my favorite thing. I used to live with a wild, wild poverty scarcity mindset where every dollar, if you're in a loud environment, will you just hit mute? No, every dollar that I made, I put away
Mm,
because I wanted to see my bank account grow and I hoarded money.
mm,
Guess what I didn't do with the money? I did not pay my bills. I was so afraid of losing the money that I got myself into $20,000 in debt. Guess what I did while I was hoarding the money? I would see the money grow and then I would feel like I earned like a gift. So I would go and buy my friends coffee at Starbucks. I would go buy a Coach bag when Coach bags were cool. Maybe they weren't ever cool, to be honest. It's this weird scarcity mindset where I needed to see the bank account grow, but I didn't want to use it on the things that made it different. I didn't want to invest in myself. I didn't want to invest because that meant the money went away and it was somewhere hiding.
mm,
I didn't certainly didn't want to pay my bills with it. So when the bills would come, I would close my eyes and I would just put them in the drawer. So fear and a scarcity mindset is somehow how we live this business. And when we feel fearful, which is a huge emotional driver of having a scarcity mindset, we believe that there is just never going to be enough resources to help us. There's never going to be enough money. There's never going to be enough time. There's never going to be enough opportunities,
mm,
which then leads us into this like cyclical behavior, which leads to anxiety. We make really poor decisions. And we really narrow our focus on immediate problems, which cause hoarding.
mm,
So you think about making $100 to pay the bill this week. You focus on very narrow-minded things, which really elevate anxiety versus big picture, big income, big impact. You
mm,
play small with very, very limiting beliefs.
mm,
So if we can just recognize the fear and we can shift into positive beliefs and we take very intentional actions, which intentional usually mean positive actions, we can shut down that fear
mm,
almost immediately. So fear is always the root cause of living in this like scarcity mindset. Fear is like the brain's innate threat detection system that can be overactivated by past trauma, past experiences, maybe the way you used to live your life, lack of resources. I'm telling you, for whatever reason, some of you guys are holding yourselves back, and fear is the root issue of that, which is only going to lead to more anxiety. It's only going to lead to feeling more stressed. So I want to let that go today.
mhm,
I want you guys to take the opportunity to, I say give fear a second sandwich. You guys have so much to be grateful for. We have so much abundance. You
mhm,
have the resources. You do have the time. Everything that you need right now at this very moment is inside of you right now. But you have somehow taken the keys, put them in a drawer, and locked that drawer away.
mhm, mhm,
And only you know where to find the keys to unlock the drawer, take out the keys, and then unlock it in yourself too.
mhm,
But that's the only way that you're going to take everything that we've learned over these last 3 months and put it all into play. Because while we're all together, you guys often react very positively to like what we're training on. You have big reactions. But what I'm here for is eliminate the R and the E. I'm not here for you to react. I'm here for you to act. And that's why we're here. That's why we're here. So talk to me about, I want to open it up. Talk to me about what you're scared of when it comes to asking someone to join your team. And I'm just going to open it up to Daphne first.
I did pose the question, so I should be in the hot seat first.
Mhm.
I mean, it's sometimes it's like imposter syndrome of how can I lead new people because I've had some like, oh my gosh, this is such a star. She's gonna love this business and it's gonna be amazing for her. And then things just like as much as I try to love and support and serve, it just never happens. And unfortunately, I've got a lot of those. And so then that translates into sort of an imposter syndrome of like, obviously, I don't have the skills to be able to lead people to do this business. And then on the other end of the spectrum is I'm dream plan and like sometimes just logistics of trying to frickin' understand the new plans, the old plans, like trying to help people. It is an excuse because all of the information for the most part is available until you get on the phone with Kathy Keating and then she really confuses the hell out of me. But it feels like heavy at times of like, if I get on the phone with this person to present the opportunity to them and I can't explain it clearly, like, how is that going to look?
Okay, I love that. I love that. All right, so you're afraid of things that haven't happened yet, right? Like you're when it comes to presenting the comp plan or presenting the opportunity, you are like, I don't feel confident enough in presenting the opportunity. That hasn't happened yet, right? You don't even have, you're like, I'm just going to get on the phone and it's going to be diarrhea of the mouth and she's going to be lost and overwhelmed. And that's the end of that.
Yeah.
So, the really cool thing about being authentic and being you and treating this business by one conversation at a time is that it's one conversation at a time. Do not think, oh my gosh, I have this person. She's going to be so amazing. And come January of 2027, she's going to be a senior director. Like, you know what I mean? You're already like out there thinking about how incredible she's going to be. First, what I want you to do is give me a name of somebody who right now you want to ask to be on your team.
Carrie.
Carrie. And why? Why would she be a great person, great asset, great addition to join you?
She like is such a consistent orderer. And then in our Facebook group, she is always one to like support and cheer on other people and share her experiences, et cetera, et cetera.
So she's incredible and amazing, and you're going to invite her to the opportunity the second we get off this call. Okay, let's workshop this together, everybody. Here we go. Does anybody have a Carrie in their life? Somebody who is a cheerleader, somebody who loves Shackley products, somebody who you would love to work with. Okay, here we go, everybody. Buckle up. Okay, first of all, I want everybody to relieve all the pressure of sharing the opportunity to people. Let it go. Guess what? You're going to cross that bridge after you ask them to join your team. You do not share the opportunity. Don't put the cart in front of the horse. Okay? The horse goes first, and here's who the horse is. Here's what the horse says. Here we go. Sharing my screen. All right. Nope, not that screen. Can you see my Google Doc right now?
Mhm.
Okay, perfect. We're going to go new tab. We're going to go sponsoring. All right. First thing that you're going to do with Carrie or all of your carries is you are going to send a message that says, okay, and I send these messages all the time. Carrie.
Kerry, but
Oh, it matters because we're going to put that out there. Carrie. Kerry. Carrie. Oh. All right. What I want you to do, we celebrate to begin. I love blank. So what do you love about what she does? I love that you're going to celebrate her in some way. I love having you a part of the Name the Facebook group that you own.
yep.
Okay. I love having you a part of my life. That's what AI wants to of
That's you.
the Facebook group we have going on right now. This is where you boost people's confidence. You're incredible. Okay? Now is when you ask them to join your team. If it didn't take away from any of the other projects you have going on right now, how do you feel? I'm going to put that word in all caps, but you are not. I just want you to understand we're using feel and not think or thought. How do you feel, or how would you feel if it didn't take away from any of the other projects you have going on right now? How would it make you feel to join my team? Or you can say to join me in business. Okay? You compliment sandwich. You would be so wonderful at this. Send into the abyss. Send it. Okay? So sometimes I say things like, I was just thinking about you. This is just about creating relationships. That's what this is. This is about, again, if she's already the cheerleader, you already know she would be so great at this, because that is the hardest part about this business, is cheering and leading. And when you find those diamonds in the rough, you go bold. Carrie, I love having you a part of the Facebook group we have going on. You're going to turn that into whatever the name of your group is.
Yep.
You're incredible. If it didn't take away from any of the other projects you have going on right now, how do you, this makes no sense. How talk it through. How would it make you feel to
Can you
join?
tighten it? Can you tighten it and just say, how would you feel about joining
About joining
me?
me in business. Yes.
Yeah.
English is hard. English is hard. How would it make you feel joining me in business and you can even say for 2026, because a lot of the times they're going to say, like, I'm so busy right now, but you will get them started right now if that's something that you want to end your December with, but you're not going to cross that bridge until you get dialogue with her. You want to throw it out into the universe that you're thinking about her. You want to throw it out into the universe how great she would be at this. And you want to ease her mind by saying, if it didn't take away from the other stuff you have going on, how would it make you feel to join me in business?
Yeah.
Okay. A lot of people, I've seen other people's verbiage when I was a part of the bigger team, where they say, have you ever thought about joining me in business? And I almost always know the answer to that. It's no. But when you say, how would it make you feel to join me or to join my team?
Yeah.
You are reframing the question completely. Okay. You would be so wonderful at this. And that's not a question. That's just a statement. So your question is right there in the middle. And then you end with, again, that confidence building sentence, because we all know that that's also what it means to be a leader, is to help instill confidence in our people. And it starts from before they even join.
Yeah.
All right. So what are you going to do when she says, oh my gosh, I don't know how it makes me feel. Right? Like I think that makes me feel good. Wouldn't that be weird if she was like, I think that makes me feel terrible. That make you know? So, um reframe that sentence, but keep it the same framework.
Yeah.
Celebrate. If it don't scare, don't overwhelm. If it didn't take away from any of the projects that you're doing, how would it make you feel to join me in business? You would be so great at this. You would be so great at this. Okay? That's it. She's going to be like, okay, wow, she's not going to know how to feel. She's going to feel a lot of things.
Yeah.
That's so kind of you. Thank you so much for saying it. Thanks. That's so great. I love being a part of your group. What does it entail? What does that mean? What would it mean to join you in business, Daphne? What would you want to say back? Anybody want to chime in? What would you want to say back? What does it entail?
Before I do that, can I just, because I can come up with a couple of suggestions, but my mind is going, Daphne, what does she do? Is she a full-time mom? Does she work part-time? Is she a bank teller? Is she a nurse? Because a lot of if she is not working, but she enjoys the product, then here's a way to leverage and talk about an opportunity to join my team and earn some additional income. If she's working and struggling or working two jobs, but if she's a nurse, or a nutritionist, or if she's a physical therapist, or she's a coach, if she's a runner. So tell me, what does Carrie do when she's not buying product?
She's what?
Well, employee in Hawaii that does like some sort of coral restoration science work.
So you could say to her, as part of Shaklee, saying, I'd love you to join my team. In addition to the products you use, the nutrition, the skincare, are you aware of Shaklee is one of the environmental companies. We were the first company to be certified climate neutral. Serena doesn't like when I rattle off all these things, but I use some of these, but I do it after I have heard there's got to be a connection.
Yeah.
So I have developed enough rapport. It's not a one-hit wonder order where I then am going to ask. But I found that oftentimes prior to this year, Serena, and I'd like you to answer this, they have told us, they went through a whole thing where they told us, don't sponsor, focus on members and your retail customers, which I never understood retail customers because I would always leverage that into members. But now they're promoting this idea to, 50% off on stepping up. That's something that I'm confused about, because this whole year, corporate Mission Mondays have been focusing on developing your members. But anyway, going back to Carrie, if she's doing environmental stuff and, she lives far from you, but you're both sharing the warmth of a different side of the content. You've got the warmth. We have dreary, cold weather, but just the whole idea of the environment, maybe that would pique her interest, that she could help make a difference and that people around her.
So here's how I treat ambassadors. Here's how I treat ambassador sponsoring. One, I will never invite someone to join my team who hasn't had a Shaklee box arrive at their doorstep. The reason why Shaklee really honed in last year on member was because when the Beachbody apocalypse happened, there was an influx in there was an influx in ambassadors, an influx of people that had never tried one thing. And then what happened when there was a spike is there was a dramatic dip and plummet. Because, of course, again, putting the cart before the horse. You want people to fall in love with your products before you present the idea of joining your team. Get it? I don't present an opportunity. I present the idea of joining my team. So take out the word opportunity. Opportunity is just, it's a fluff word, it's a marketing term, it's used by salespeople. Take out the word opportunity. They're just joining you. They're locking arms with you and doing something that aligns with what they are already doing. Just like Daphne just said, she works in with coral reefs. And a terrible story about a coral reef debacle.
I
So you're
remember
gonna
reading that
say
one.
that was a good story. So you will say, she's gonna say, okay, what does that entail, right? You're gonna celebrate. You're gonna be like, well, it already aligns so perfectly with what you're doing currently. Do you want me to rattle off a few aspects here, or do you want to jump on a call? And literally, you're speaking in conversational terms. Do you want me to rattle off a few aspects of what it means to join my team? Or do you want to jump on a call? Not, do you want me to give you some facts? Do you want me to tell you more about the company? They certainly don't. They want to hear how it serves them. That's it. How is it going to make a difference in their life? And so, little by little, that's what you're doing. You're not overwhelming. I have never presented the entire opportunity when I've been on an ambassador call, ever. I have only taken what I believe because this is personal, right? This is very personal. So I have taken the parts about this business and how it is personal for them. And I hone in on those things. So if she's working, full time,
Mhm.
um, and she's already commenting on what, other people are doing and she's being a cheerleader, this is just like that,
Yep.
right? That's what you're already doing the things that I do. Now you would just be rewarded for it also.
I love that.
Yeah. So again, go ahead.
I think that everything you're talking about is just simplifying it. Like in my mind, I automatically jump to making sure that I completely understand the compensation plan, which has no part of like the
No
first
part.
conversations with.
No part whatsoever. It is you and Carrie against the world.
Yep.
It is literally treating her that that's what this is. It's okay, Carrie, you want to know more. Okay, I'm going to hold your hand through this. I'm going to treat you like the cutest bunny I ever spotted, and I'm going to just give you a carrot at a time so that you don't overwhelm because I know you have a full-time job. So
Yep.
as things come up, I will share. But until then, we're just going to focus on three things.
Yep.
And I also asked Daphne, how did you meet her? Is she a high school friend? Is she someone that you? So the reason I ask is that another thing that I think would be so wonderful. I mean, this is a great. I don't want to use the word candidate, but
I
I mean,
can't wait to welcome her to your team.
I'm so excited for you because, and by the way, I loved your story. Yes, you read what I wrote about the story. In 20 years, you're with the soup. I loved it. But here's a high school friend, and she's moved out. However many years she's been in Hawaii and with the reefs, but you may have some mutual friends, or she may have other like-minded people that might be perfect. If she says, well, I don't know anybody, then you would be able to talk her through and say,
Okay.
so I was just thinking about people that Carrie may know where it would be a perfect match beyond.
All right. So I guess okay, so I'm just typing into the chat if anyone else has a Carrie. All right. So that message that we helped Daphne construct to send to Carrie is a message that if you have somebody who is very similar, she's going to get that message today. I would not be sitting on that. If I had somebody right now that was that, I would not, I would be so excited to send that message and start getting that, that ball rolling.
What if you've attempted that? Like I've talked to my sister about this before. She's been a Shackley kid just like I have. She uses all the products. She shares people with me who would love the products.
Good. Then maybe she's not a good fit. And you say, and every month when you want to present the opportunity again to her, you say, All right, I know you're not ready yet to join me in business. Tell me who you have for me this month.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I'm pointing at my neighbor's house, Melanie. She is a stay-at-home Army vet wife, and she watches, we do Bible study together, we go on walks together, she takes my classes, she orders like $500 worth of Shackley products every single month. I don't want her to join my team, truthfully. I love having her as a customer and I love having her as a friend. But every single month, I say, I know you're not ready to join me in business. Do you have anyone for me this month? We are that close. She already said no to me a long time ago. And so every month that's how I present it. That bleeds into referrals. Um, I would never, ever, ever use the word referral, when I'm speaking to someone. Again, this is what we're trying to do here. We are trying to separate us from 99% of the industry. So we don't want to use the words that 99% of the industry are using. Opportunity, referrals. Um, do you want to know,
What's the word you use?
do you want to know what I do?
Yes, please.
Okay, here we go.
Serena, you're on fire today.
I'm starting to get hot too. It's very cold outside, but it's hot in here now. All right. So when it comes to people who love our products, you guys are sitting on your hottest market. The people who are in your back office are your hottest market, right? Yes?
Mhm.
They love you, they love the products, they love everything.
Mhm.
Are their husbands taking vitamins?
Mhm.
Yeah. Every single person who is a customer of yours deserves a conversation that says, I know how much you love your personalized routine. How the heck is John doing? Is he ready for his meology yet? So you don't go out into the big bad scary world. You don't say, "Hey, Angela, I know you're not ready to buy, but do you know anyone that is? I'd love the referral." You are not a real estate agent. You are not selling solar panels or pest control.
Mhm.
You are building upon the relationships that you already have. You have the potential to take one household and turn it into 300, 400, 500, 600, $7, $700 a month. You
Mhm.
are sitting on that right now. It's a gold mine of fiery leads to say that exact words. What about John? Or if you're not ready to bring in the husband, how are the kids? Right? Like
I've
Addie.
had the opposite happen a lot where their friends are buying them for their kids, but not themselves. And
That,
I figure out,
exactly that.
say, hey,
Okay.
mama, it's your turn.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great convo. That's great conversational words that are should absolutely work. It's your turn.
Yeah.
And guess what? That bundle for personalized wellness is $100 off this month. I don't ever stop talking about the fact that Ready Set Wellness is $100 off.
Mhm.
When you first brought that up, I was like, what is she talking about?
Yeah.
Wait, say this again. It-
Reset Wellness is always $100 off, always.
oh
Mhm.
yeah,
But
First purchase.
but
yeah,
but
yeah, yeah.
you
With
don't
the
know. You don't know how long it's going to be stay $100 off, right? So you still can create that urgency by saying this month.
Mhm.
So husbands, anyone who is married always gets touched. And typically what I do is it's their second month because they're riding that high of how they feel from the cleanse, from Life Shake, from vitamins. So I say, okay, I know you're feeling great. It's time for John now.
Mhm. You keep asking.
Well, no, I just have any new person that joins. That's what I say.
Okay.
I do not every month say, what about your husband?
Okay.
Yeah, that's just how I reframe referrals. My referrals are more of your family.
Gotcha.
My referrals are skincare. My referrals are elevating your spend.
Serena, I have one lady. She was just a gift to me, you know. I didn't know her, and it's been years trying to get to know her. Finally, she's following on Facebook and Instagram, so I message her occasionally there, but she only buys the kids' vitamins. Then it was Meology, and then when that went back ordered forever, she turned to Vitally for her daughters.
Mm.
I asked her about her husband. I even gifted her something for them to try. I occasionally will send something in the mail,
Yeah,
like around the holidays or
yeah.
something. And she's just silent.
Okay, I love that.
Like,
Um,
oh,
I sound like Scout side growing up. I love that. I love that. Okay, so what I would do is remember when we were talking about, gosh, maybe this was five hot seat coaching masterminds ago, where if I get an objection, a pretty heavy duty objection on somebody that is following me on social media, I create content that is specific to them. So how simple is it for you to create content of you can't pour from an empty cup? We give and give and give and pour into our family and our kids and we buy and buy. We do for them to be healthy, but we negate ourselves.
Mm.
okay.
And then you send that little story right to her as a very gentle, warm hug that says, I'm sending this warm hug your way. I thought of you when I wrote these words.
Mm.
Connection and relationships. When
Mm,
people know that you're thinking of them, it gives them what? Accountability,
Mhm.
some ownership.
yeah. And I'm just still like kind of pulling teeth just to try to get to know her. And I've only like feel like I've gotten to know her a little bit because now I can see stuff that she's posted over the years and what she's been into or whatever. But
Do
I'm
you
like,
engage with her do you respond when she posts something?
I do, yeah. And she'll either like it or say thanks, and that's about the end of it. But it's so crazy. She was a military spouse that was living in Virginia when I was there, and corporate gifted her to me when she placed an order, and now she's in Alabama, and I don't know. I'm
Yes,
like
create content for
trying to
her.
get to know this woman, but
Yeah,
it's
no.
so
And
Maybe
you
she
hard.
know,
needs to get to know you also, Sherry.
Hmm.
Do you think?
What's that?
Do you think she needs to get to know you better?
I mean, I think so, but I mean, she's following everything and she
yeah.
comments occasionally on my posts or stories. So,
From the posts that she has sent, do you have an inkling of any hobbies she has? Like, does she cook for the holidays? Does she have family living near you? And maybe you can say, like sending you, if she moved away, she might be, especially at this time of year, be feeling sad that she's not close to family if she was living in your town or near you.
yeah, I don't know. I mean,
Create content for her and
okay.
continue to cheer her on.
Okay.
She's not she can the reason why we show up on social media is for people to get, to know us. But when it comes to having personal conversations that are in the direct messages, it has nothing to do with us, right? Like this business is for other people. It's not about us.
Mhm.
But I would no joke, I would create content for her and send it to her and say, I was just thinking about you
Yeah.
when
I mean,
I
she'll
wrote.
occasionally respond to a text message if I tell her, hey, by the way, there's this sale. I know that you purchased this. You might consider if it's a limited time switching your auto ship to this frame or whatever. And she's always grateful, but she never acts on any of it.
That's okay. That's okay.
I'm
Some
like,
people are like
okay.
that.
Would that
So,
be where, Serena, you say, I know how busy you must be? Can I create a card, or would you like me to help, where you can help, Sherry, maybe you can help facilitate?
Well, is she already ordering or she's already your customer and she's ordering?
yeah, she is. And it's like every other month she buys a couple bottles of Vitally for her girls.
Okay, yeah.
That's it.
I would just be bold with her and warm.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Deneen, before you have to go. Lay it on me, sis.
I have a question about next week. Is that our last week? Okay. Well, kind of unfortunately for the group, but fortunately for me, I'm going to be in the Bahamas.
Are you taking us with you?
What?
I would
You're
love
not
to.
allowed.
In spirit.
But I loved this, and I feel like I have so much more to learn. Um,
What's next?
Can you tell me what's going to be next?
Yeah, oh
Before?
my gosh. Oh my gosh. I'm so happy that you said that. I love our community in this group. So, season 2, we're like dancing with the stars here. Season 2 for Hot Seat Coaching. I'm going to open up 8 slots and I want it to be centered around real action. So you're actually going to be working while you're doing these masterminds and then coming to each call with either a story or a conversation. So we're going to be honing in again on storytelling to really set you apart on social media, to really set you apart on social media and the actual conversations that you're having with real life people in the flesh, on social, wherever. So solving problems that are happening now. And that, of course, we're going to do the same amount of time. So 13 calls, 3 months in length. Time will either be Tuesday or Wednesday. And same time, same bat channel. Very much round 2, like very much elevated, very much like we're going. What's like hotter than hot? Fire seat coaching. That sounds like a problem we don't want to happen. That's fire reef coral, and that's terrible. So we don't want that.
Are we currently 8 women in this mess, or are we more?
10. We are 10, 10, and one is virtual.
It sounds like musical chairs.
Yeah, I know. You never
want one of those chairs.
Okay, so, or I am going to open up another season 1, another round of hot seat coaching that is going to go over very much the same stuff that we all did, but you now have a leg up. You now have, more confidence. You now have more tools in your toolbox than, of course, the person who's starting on day 1. So you will have some stuff to ponder. I would say all of you, are really ready for season 2 if you all, want to stay together, because there's the people who are watching this call. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. 8. There's 8 of you on right now. Okay. So, yeah, I don't want to get, too much into it because I still want to have our last call together. But Deneen, you are going to the Bahamas. You're going to want to watch the recording, while you're watching the sunset.
And if there's any way that I do have Wi-Fi or something, I will try to hop on, but I
yeah, no, I agree. You've got to take those trips, and especially when they come up. Yeah, so that's all the news that's fit to print there.
Thank you so much.
Yes. Oh my gosh. What do they say, and how do you say Merry Christmas in Bahamas? Merry Christmas.
Feliz Navidad.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye, friend. And then there were 7.
So we've got this is our 101 course. So you got a 102 option or a 201, right?
Yes.
Back to college. That makes me feel real hot seat.
Oh, Serena, mine might be very quick because you probably know plenty of people that have been in this situation. Would the group mind if I share a case study? Can I share my Liz? There's a woman that I know, and a very dynamic, beautiful woman who I met through a nonprofit. I do marketing, so I met her through this nonprofit, and I started reaching out to her. She lost her mom, and we had coffee, which is usually my first step in talking to her. But in my mind, she was with Roden and Fields. I don't know how active she was in Roden and Fields. I know she's still using the product. But but I began to talk to her during that first conversation to get more information about whether she'd be willing to trade brands. Because if she had an organization, this would be a wonderful opportunity to come on board. I wanted to ask you how you would handle this with somebody who might be a bit reticent, but given that you have experience and that you know others that were part of organizations, businesses that imploded, whether it was Roden and Fields, Beachbody.
Yeah.
I would love to get your take on this because I'm looking forward to seeing her. And I know the holidays are hectic, but I have two of these that were involved in Roden and Fields. And
Well, they're already wet behind. They're not wet behind the ears. So you already know that they know what this business entails, correct? They've already been in network marketing. You already know what sets Shackley, apart. I would use the exact same verbiage that Daphne's going to use for Carrie in the exact same way, assuming she already is using our products. You know what I mean?
yeah, and where I left it off with her was I piqued her interest about the wands and that I wanted her to try the wands and
Wonderful.
to give me feedback on it. So I need
Wonderful.
to get her.
That's a great place. That's so funny. I got an ambassador from the wands as well, and I'll tell you how to. We're gonna expand on the Carrie story, but yes, I would have her. Anybody who you feel like would be great at this in business, who's already been in network marketing, I spend a lot of time getting them to buy something from me that resonates with them. I don't even niche down, like I don't sell them vitamins. I literally just cater to something that I know they would love and fall in love with. And then I hold their hand through that entire process. I'm like, here it comes. When you fall in love with it, we're going to have a chat about joining me. Like I start to like bait them in and date them before they've even joined. And I do that with people who have already been in network marketing to begin with. Like
Yes.
that's how I bring people who have been in network marketing. I get them to be my customer first. I plant the seed in their head in the beginning, and then I do this. All right. Do you guys remember?
And by the way, can I just say, forgive me, it was interesting that you said the wands, focus on the skincare, but Roden and Fields is strictly skincare. So I actually thought maybe encouraging her to try a shake or to try a multivitamin.
No,
but
you're going to encourage her to try whatever is in her wheelhouse that she's an expert in right now.
Thank you so much. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so do you guys remember when we first started, there was somebody, I think I shared screenshots of this woman. She reached out to me. She found me on Instagram because all I ever talk about is the darn 7-day cleanse. Because I niche down so much. So much. You get so caught up in 300 products that you don't know where to look when it comes to the Shackley catalog. You have really got to pick a certain thing. Of course, I don't just sell the 7-day cleanse, right? I sell 5 of the bundles now. There's like 5 different bundles that come with the cleanse. Thankfully, because I said I need more options other than Ready Set Wellness. Because I was having so many repeat buyers and I didn't just want them to buy this. Literally, this is how much I niche down. It sits on my desk and never leaves. Sometimes I just open it up and take a packet. I'm sitting here on calls. All right. All right. So this woman comes to me and she's like, I found you on Instagram. You seem to know what you're talking about when it comes to this liver detox, whatever this is. I want to do it. She's the exact same age as me. She has multiple children under 7. Like the algorithm was algorithming.
Oh.
Okay. So she came to me and then before she even bought, she said, and I shared this with you. It's on our page. She said, and what do I have to do to like start it as a business?
Wow.
Yeah.
Guess what I said back?
Are the products first?
The brakes. I said, okay, awesome. I love this idea. I love where your head and your heart is. I
Mhm.
want to make sure you're taken care of first. So, step one, fall in love with how you feel on the cleanse and with Life Shake. Then we're going to get you off to the races. I promise. Let's just do this first. All right? Long story longer, fast forward, she does her cleanse. Before she starts her cleanse, I tell her to do this. She's not joined my team yet, but I treat her as if she already has joined my team. Okay, so I tell her, all right, tomorrow's day one. I'm cheering you on. My favorite tips are don't play the hero, make sure you eat, don't forget to hydrate, rest. And now is when we start planting seeds. So I would absolutely love for you to share your journey with your followers as you're doing it. How do you feel about that? Hasn't even stepped foot onto my team, knows nothing about the opportunity, nothing. But what does she feel? She already feels a sense of community, already feels a sense of responsibility, already has that accountability going for her so that what? She succeeds more in the cleanse because she's sharing it. And then what? She is like, people are like, what are you doing? So she's sending me screenshots of people saying, okay, people are now starting to ask me. Cool. Pump the brakes. Don't worry. I got you. It's okay. Write down everybody's name. Anybody who comments, anybody who wants to know what you've got going on, just write their name down. This is called living in abundance and not having a scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset does this. You want to join my team? Okay, here you go. Here's the business kit and here's everything, right?
Mhm.
The living in abundance part says, I've got you, girl. We're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. Let's do it right. Let's do it for real. Okay? That woman joined my team less than 3 weeks ago and sold $2,000.
Wow.
And guess what else? I just got off the phone with her and I said, okay, are you ready to duplicate yourself? Now we are going to do exactly what you did for the people that have joined you. And she said, 1000%, this is just the beginning. So you are creating systems that are very duplicatable, very,
Okay.
based on niching down.
Okay.
So whatever somebody fell in love with is what they're going to run with.
Yes.
And that's how you don't overwhelm them. That's how you just, you say you're just going to share the things that you love, which is why leads me to Daphne's last question is how to share what's going on in December. How many of you have used Trim for more than 6 weeks? Okay. So only you are able to talk about it. Hands down, truthfully. That is what is an epidemic in this business is people sell SHIT that they've never even smelled.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
that's what makes us seem so sticky. If for whatever reason you want to sell Trim because you see other people loving it and it's catching you off guard, go behind the scenes and start using it.
What I do each time Shackley comes out with something new that I mean is relatable to a woman. I mean,
Yes.
saw
Yeah.
palmetto I can't use, but my husband uses it.
Yeah.
The record. But I try everything. Now, when I went to the Modere site, it was hard because they had 3 biocells. They had, multiple flavors. So fortunately, and I bless Serena, you started me. I started with chocolate. I don't even love chocolate, but now I just ordered mango and I think lemon because again, you said they're not bad. I might try vanilla, but I can't be genuine unless I mean you can't
Right.
say to
Yeah.
people,
No, very true.
hey, you know,
But here's the
Did-
deal. Here's the deal with Trim. And because it's not a free gift and because it is a $40 option, it gets sticky, but it's also something that's worth chatting about with people who are already going to make a $175 offer. I'm going to give a bonus right now to everybody who's on this call. because I have been using this for 4 months and because it happens to be a $40 gift with a $175 order that could ultimately turn into an extra $100 sale every single month.
Mm.
Um, would you like to invite your people to my pop-up party for trim and liquid biocell so that you can see how it's done? You can watch me rattle off all of the snooze fest facts, why it's so imperative, and then, tell my own personal story when it comes to these two products. And then you at least are saying, would you like to lock arms together and do this together? I know somebody who is over the moon about switching up her collagen to liquid collagen. She understands the science behind it. She's got a crazy wild story to tell. Would you want to join a 15-minute chat and we can possibly do this together? That's how I would that's how I would approach a product that you've never tried before, but you want other people to, is let them know I'm getting ready to try something new. You want to do it together? But before, we should probably know why.
Okay.
So if you want to do that, you guys can invite to my call in December.
Are you doing these monthly
That
now,
would be
Serena?
lovely. Thank you.
Yes. Yes, because until I can get the word out, I'm just going to keep shouting it from the rooftops how awesome this science is and how much of a game changer it's been in my own routine. And girl, I was not looking to adding any more to my routine,
Right.
Can I also, I agree with you, I agree with you, and thank you so much for the invitation. I found what started me first was the collagen chews. And with your permission, I'll do it in less than a minute. I have a customer. She's my my colorist. And when she was on maternity, she's 49 and had her fourth child. She's a pescatarian, so she uses our plant-based shakes. But she couldn't get over. I have very thick hair to begin with, but she couldn't get over my hair. She had been on maternity leave for 4 months, so she hadn't seen me. I had started using I call them the Tootsie Rolls that have no sugar, but they're the collagen chews that Modere puts out. My husband is now on them. I now have to buy double because I say, Michael, did you finish the last one?
That's so
So
funny.
I found that the wonderful thing about Modere is it's what you said, for people who may not want to stir in the collagen into our shake or our coffee or find it clumpy, they have options. They could do it through liquid or they could do it through the chews.
Yeah, I like selling the Modere bundle because it comes with both. And they get a really sweet discount, which is awesome. When people are trying something new. There is a Modere training this month, which is great. But if you would like, again, I'll give you the date and the time for it. It's 15 minutes. It's quick, it's dirty, it packs a punch for sure. And every time I do it, we do like, a couple thousand in volume because again, I just give it to you straight. I give it to you real. I snooze fest in the beginning, so facts, science, and then we have some really incredible stories and some really awesome before and afters. How do we set ourselves up for success in December? We set efficient time to do income producing activities first. Again, always eat the frog, do the stuff that's hard first. The very first people that you start getting in touch with are your current ambassadors. Why? Because it's the beginning of the month and you need to know who you're working with. So yesterday was my day. I said I was going to every month on December 1st, I say I'm going to take off half of December and do my own thing. Never happens. Every single month on the 1st, I say I'm going to take this day off.
Oh,
Never happens.
wow.
But that just goes to show you that I truly, truly love, love, love what I do. It stirs in my belly. And until I can actually make conversations and make moves, I feel unsettled. So, I got in touch with all of my ambassadors that have ordered in the last year, and I wish them a happy holiday season. And then I ask them, and I put this in our notes today, so I will just give you the exact verbiage. Because again, every season things change,
Mhm.
right? Every month something changes in someone's life. And so since you are not a mind reader, you have got to get out there and ask them. So what I say at the beginning of the month is, and I use Daphne in this situation, I'll put it in the chat. Daphne, happy new month, happy holidays. I'm touching base with everyone on the team, and you're at the top of my list. How do you feel about working together this month and earning an extra? You're going to know how to fill in that blank. You're going to know what income they've made before. If they haven't made any income, you're going to start at $250 a Star Club. How do you feel about working together this month and earning an extra $250 for your family for the holidays? End of message. Okay. This is going to gauge who you get to work with, right? And you need to let them know, like, you're not on an island unless you were on an island, like, it feels really good when you start having these conversations with people that have already joined you. It's giving you practice to be the leader that you know that you are meant to be. So start with the people who have been with you, I guess in the last year, in the last two, however long it is. People who are consistently, I would say, ordering at least every other month. They don't even have to have ever done anything with the business to get a message just like this. Treat them brand new. Okay. And then same message for people who have earned income. You're going to up that money to slightly above what you know they've earned before. Okay, to give them that extra added, oh, yeah, wow, I might want to go for that. Here's what you're probably going to get back in December. Wow, December is crazy. I'm going to be so busy. There's so much going on. One, you got the connection in. You're showing that you're caring. You're a leader who cares about her people. Two, you're setting and planting the seeds for January, right? So she's probably going to say right back, but I might be ready in January. So you will say that. Oh, I get it. Girl, I get it. I couldn't not reach out though. I'll chat with you in the new year. Okay? And then of course you're going to reach out to her at the end of the month and make sure she gets an order in. But that's how I set myself up for success, because when you know that it's not just you, yes, you do feel a little more comfy and cozy. And you ate a frog. You ate a frog by sending a scary message, but you gave yourself the opportunity of not being alone until December 30th. So when you're done with those messages to, your team that you have right now, then you go and send the scary message of, if it didn't interfere with any of your other projects, how do you feel about joining me in business? You would be so great at this. She's going to say, wow, thanks. What does that entail? Or she's going to say, there's just no way I could in December. I'm so busy. And you're going to, one, completely understand. You totally get it. You're still going to say, I would love to have you join me because it's half off right now. And then we can be off to the races January 1. So, and you're gonna gauge if you want that. If you want to wait to sign her up on January 1, depending on how you work your elite points or trips or whatever, But if you've got her chatting with you, if you've got her wanting to know more, it's time to say, the I've got some urgency because it's pretty exciting that it's only half off to welcome you to the team.
Mhm.
Does it make sense to jot down a few aspects of what that means, or do you want to jump on a quick call? When you get on a call, you are just going to make it about them. That is it. That is it. You are just going to build that relationship, right? It's like a first date. You're going to have a first date, and then you're just going to be really over the moon excited that you get to have this opportunity to be with them. Like, this is so fun. Daphne, I love sitting down with you. It's so great that we get to chat. I'm going to share with you just a few things about why I really believe this would be so great for you. Are you ready? Yeah. This already aligns with what you're doing. You're already such a champion and a cheerleader for the women in our Facebook page. That's exactly what I do each day.
Mhm.
Now you're just going to be rewarded for it. You're going to earn, okay? And you're just going to give them 3 bullet points. You're going to earn X, Y, Z. You're going to be paid each week on Thursdays for new business. And then you're going to pick one other bullet point that resonates with them. That's it. You're never going to share building a team. You're never going to share anything other than what the very first step is. You
Mhm.
don't have to share one thing about the comp plan because guess what? The only way to learn the comp plan is to start getting paid.
Mhm.
Truth. Why waste any time sharing a comp plan with someone until they've earned any money? So just share how. All you're going to do is, do you ever share a favorite coffee shop with a friend? Do you ever share an outfit from Nordstrom's? Do you ever share a recommendation of a hotel in the Bahamas?
Mhm.
Cool. Did that hotel send you 30% back because you passed on their link to their website? No.
Mhm.
Well, now you will. Now you will.
I love
All
language.
you what?
I love that language.
Yeah, good,
Love
good,
it.
good.
That's what I've been focusing on this year, just to not use referrals, but to talk about, because I've I've thought that
Yeah. We
we're
all share.
the hair salons, the doctors, etc. We're all referring.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Excellent point.
making it about them to know that some people are sharing links on Amazon too, like, oh, and
Yes.
maybe you have even shared something that you love on Amazon and then you got 12 cents, you know?
Yeah.
And I do that. I do that. So season 2 is going to be about having conversations like this with people more so, um, getting more confident in booking these types of calls
Mhm.
is going to be, a big component of it. When to stop talking.
Mhm.
And when someone asks you a question, pause. You will gain confidence in all capital letters the moment you are asked a question and you don't immediately answer. Truthfully. So we're going to tackle that in season 2 of Dancing with the Stars. But until then, we still have one more call next week. So I want you guys to start getting, your minds turning on what's going to go down in the new year and what you want. Do you touch any staff members from your kids' school? No, because they would call the cops on me. Just kidding. I love that you use my term touch. Um, After they're no longer my kids' teachers, I make sure they're following me on social media. And by way of that, they are now my customers.
Mhm.
So I am an introvert. I don't like people. That sounds so terrible. It's very true. I get too people-y out there.
Wow. I
I'm,
so can't believe that still. It's just your verbal communication tells me the opposite.
oh, it's funny. I call it Gen Pop. I don't like going out into Gen Pop. So, but I really love communicating online. and I really love social selling. So what I do with anybody who I come into very close but not wanting contact is I make sure they're following me on social media.
Okay.
There's people that I see at jujitsu drop off,
Mhm.
at basketball practice, at my kids' schools, all of that. And the only thing I've learned to say to them is ask them questions about themselves and say, "Are you on Facebook?" at the end of it. And then that's the only time I've ever had any one-on-one, face-to-face communication. I am not kidding. So yes and no is the answer to that. But I get people to follow me on social media because then that's where the bread and butter is. And then what happens is they say to me, "I feel like I know you."
Mhm.
Truthfully, there's a woman, we are not like-minded in any capacity. It's hard for me, to be it's hard. I would not be friends with her in real life, but our kids were in the same class and we were always passing in drop off. And at one point, her son started following me on social media. So I felt uncomfortable at that. One day I rolled down my window and I was like, "Hey, Therese," I was like, Cooper started following me on Instagram. I just wanted to let you know." And that was it. And she said the very next day she started following me too. And then she sent me a message in my DMs and was like, "I could really use some help with X, Y, and Z."
Awesome.
Yeah. So you never know when it comes to that kind of stuff. Yes is the answer.
Thank you.
Yeah.
How do you invite people to follow you on Facebook? Do you just, I mean, because
I say
sometimes
that.
no person like by their first name. So
No,
do you,
all I say is this. Are you on Facebook?
and then if they say yes,
I say perfect. And like usually I like try and like hand them my phone or get their phone. I like do this like weird. I do this again, introvert, weird, awkward. I'm like dancing and I kind of like and they're like, "Oh, yeah. Oh, I just found you."
okay. So you kind of guide them there.
Yes. I say,
Okay.
"Okay, open yours up. Open yours up. Type my name in, see if I come up. See if I come up."
Okay.
And then I spell my name and I say just like the tennis player, except I don't use Ozempic.
Mhm.
And then they laugh just like y'all did, and then they start following me.
Okay.
All right, friends. I'm gonna let you go and do. I'm gonna let you go and do quite literally that. We can't wait to hear the messages that come after. Let's close and invite some new people to our team. And I want to hear all about it next week or on our page. Sound good?
All right. Bye.
Bye. Love you.
Thank you.
Have a great
Bye,
day.
Serena.
Thank you.
You too.